Hi, I'm Jameson Newlander, Alan Frog from the Lost Boys, and you're watching Frog Brothers Podcast.
What's going to be going on in front of Spooky Ghost?
It's refreshment time, folks.
Are either one of these any good?
Do you like scary movies?
I don't watch movies.
I have to return some videotapes.
You have a TV?
No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. Don't need a TV.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only
Finish him.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Okay, I want channels 18, 24, 63, 109, 87, and Weather Channel.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Frog Bros Podcast. My name's Justin.
I am Alec.
And I'm Nick.
And this is Nick. Hey, Nick, what episode number is this?
110, I think.
110, okay.
Did you release 109?
Not yet. It comes out tomorrow. Because we recorded things late, and
but it's out.
I had a Haunted by Tapes.
It's out for anyone listening to this.
Probably.
Yes. I hope you release them in chronological order.
Yes.
I might go all Quentin Tarantino.
Oh my God, we should do a whole thing like that sometime.
You're just making me wait.
Just put them out of order. So what's going on in the world of news?
By the way, did you see the results? Oh, we'll talk about it.
Of your STD test?
Well, no, the results for the Dante's Peak versus Volcano.
No, I did not see the results. Cover it right now. What did it say?
Well, we asked in episode 109.
Our fan reactions? We haven't released 109.
We didn't release it yet, but this is 110, so it will be out. So I can update people on it. If I go to Movie Battle, what is that?
What you started a movie?
68% Dante's Peak to 32% Volcano.
Yeah, Dante's Peak is a better movie, but Volcano's a better disaster movie. Yeah. How is it being scored?
It actually doesn't let me see it, but it's just
Not
says which is better.
Not the way you want it to be, Nick.
If it's just which is better, then yeah, Dante's Peak.
Nick's over here trying to make a technicality about a disaster movie. What's a disaster movie?
Disaster movies aren't supposed to be good.
My name's Nick. I like to stick things in my butt.
I do.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like the tea bottle, though.
Are you being homophobic?
No, that's gaping. That could be dangerous to his health and well-being.
Why do you think I have that?
Tonight's
RC
episode brought to you by Gold Peak
Because
Tea.
it's tapered. It's safe. This is a safe device to
Well,
insert
until you
rectally.
flex your ass when you come.
This is for
because no man can. You know that's what you do. You flex your anus, and that's how you come. Basically, that's the thing. And so if you have that up your ass while you might break the glass, and then you got a whole other problem.
Oh, God.
But do you? Have you tried breaking the glass yet?
No, I don't. I don't have health insurance, man.
No,
I would bleed out on the spot.
There's glass dildos, but they're probably
There's
strong,
worse
right?
ways to go.
They're not hollow.
Yeah, they're not empty like that.
Like Alec.
Yeah, I'm empty. Well, as far as you know.
Yeah,
I'm all plugged up right now.
Anyway, so Nick's iced tea. That could cause you to have some serious issues and might need reconstructive surgery.
Speaking of food items and beverages.
Oh, yeah, break that out.
I saw these today at Walmart. Cake Bites. T-Rex Party Cake Bites.
Jurassic World.
They had some ones that had blue on them, and they were blue cakes. But I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go for the T-Rex.
What bakery is that? I don't know if I'm familiar with them.
Cake Bites. I don't know.
Just the brand?
Blue.
Okay.
Thing I can open this with.
These are not vegan, so I will not be eating them. So we'll have to
You can't open them with your fingers?
I don't want to rip it open.
You're vegan?
What?
I didn't know that.
Go give me something.
Go get him a butter knife out of the kitchen.
Let me see what I need.
No.
Go give me a knife.
I have a knife in my pocket.
All right, yeah, give me that.
But do you? That's not a knife. That's a knife.
It's a little tiny one.
Oh. Hey, size doesn't matter.
Should I cut it towards myself? Is that going to trigger everybody?
No, you cut away from yourself for safety.
No,
that's just for dummies.
That's for pussies.
I mean...
What are you going to do, live another 40 or 50 years? What are you going to do, sit around the living room fucking watching TV for another 40 years? Fucking take a chance, take a risk.
You're not going to be able to afford to retire.
I take a risk every time I get in the car and drive. Other people are on the road.
Watch out, Boogie. You're going to get cut.
He's going to cut your nose off.
Boogie!
Booger!
Booger, sit down. He's like, give me a fucking cake, dick nose.
It's like, what are you opening?
Ooh, yeah, look at that. Ooh, now I can reseal that.
Exactly.
For a collectible
Oh, is that what
display
you're doing?
purposes.
Okay.
Yeah, you wanted to save the box. Because you really think...
The Cake Bites.
You really think these Cake Bites are going to be something to talk about?
Tonight's episode brought to you by Cake Bites. What is Cake Bites? Is that the name of the brand?
That's what we just discussed. Where the fuck were you 30 seconds ago?
I know you discussed it, but I didn't think you
that
came
packaging
to a
is better than the outside
that's pretty
packaging.
nice.
Is there like 2 per package there?
Something like that.
Oh, they had a Spider-Man. They had Spider-Man and Thor and shit on them too. You didn't miss all out.
Mukbang.
3 little ones in there. There you go.
Cake Bites is owned by Marvel apparently, and no Jurassic Park and Universal.
Take a whiff. Smells like cake, like vanilla cake. So.
It does. It does.
You want to take a whiff?
Can't vegans have cheat days?
That's
I
not
want
how
to
that
bring
works.
ice cream cake next week, and you're not going to be able to eat any.
Oh, they make vegan ice cream cake, you dick.
Well, who fuck wants it?
People that don't want to fucking become a cow or a heifer.
I don't know. I like vegan chocolate chip cookies, so I might like that. Actually, I think I have had that.
Vegan ice cream.
Stranger Things branded vegan chicken nuggets right now.
No.
Nice.
We're gonna get those. And we're gonna try them.
It is a strange
I'll save
thing.
those for next week too.
I had
oh my god,
3 types of vegan chicken nuggets the other day that I had at home. So
3 types.
Yeah, because the kids eat them for their stuff, and then they've got a couple brands that they really like the Impossible kind, but
It's like a very decadent Little Debbie.
Yeah, it's pretty rich.
yeah, much better frosting. It's not just the waxy shit.
No, it's a little waxy. That's what I mean. It's like a much better Little Debbie. Like
Okay, so it's still the same quality, but
the inside is
No, it's
completely
better
different.
quality.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it was almost $4 for the box. So, and we're eating half of it right now. So,
oh.
I've had a bite and I'm done. Oh,
No, you're not. Just cram
that's
your
too
face.
much. That's too rich.
I was gonna say there's the mukbang part. There it goes.
I was being polite.
Can you describe the mouthfeel of the food product you're eating?
It doesn't feel like cake.
The spongy cake
feels like
doesn't
cake
taste-
cake pops.
Cake pops. It's more dense, like a cake
Yeah,
pop.
it's pretty
Okay.
dense.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Ooh.
Too much?
I don't want the other 2 right now anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
My goodness.
They're gonna save those for an intermission.
Oh man.
I like that packaging though.
Yeah.
I just randomly saw this. They have a lot of Stranger Things foods marketed. Like I said, there's vegan chicken nuggets, which is really cool.
That's weird. When was the last time?
And they have pizzas, like these frozen pizzas that are
for Stranger Things,
but they look like the frozen pizza box looks like a delivery box, and it says Surfer Boy Pizza.
How long ago did season 3 come
And they
out?
have one with pineapple and jalapeno, so I'm probably going to try that one. There's like a Supreme, a meat. They don't have a cheese because they're dickheads, but pineapple and jalapeno, I'm good with that.
Anyone get any collectibles, toys, new items this week?
Not really. Not since we last did our episode, which was less than a week ago since we were off schedule. So
I got a few
haven't
things
seen
in the mail.
anything out.
I got for my Afterlife Spirit Pack, because I've got my Hero Pack that I'm just keeping as Classic 84. But this slides on. It has a more accurate tip to Afterlife, so I'm going to get that filled and painted soon. Then I also got a resin heat sink for the Afterlife Pack. I got a real heat sink set aside for upgrading. I don't know if I'll upgrade the Hasbro pack with that or do a scratch build or something at some point, but
you keep talking about all that. I'm going to take Booger out because I think
real
he needs
parts.
to go.
All right. Well, you crawl under that table there.
Well, yeah, I'm going to. I'm just saying, keep talking about your things.
He didn't just want cake. He wants to
about the Stranger.
He wants to go
Dr.
pee.
Strange give himself. The
Watch
Stranger.
Alec disappear. If you're only listening on audio right now, you really need to pull this clip up on YouTube to see Alec try to crawl under the fucking table, under the desk, between Booger, between the mic cables and everything
How
else.
low can you go?
I will strangle you with this microphone.
This is how you know I'm fucking old. This hurts.
Well, see,
and remember when I broke my ankle those couple weeks ago? I just
What?
fucked it up.
You did?
I didn't break it, but I fell down someone's stairs doing DoorDash, and man, I bet on the Ring doorbell is me. It's just a string of cuss words
They've
about
got
their
you on
stairs.
YouTube or TikTok or something.
I mean, hopefully, as long as I don't get fired for it, I'm cool with that.
Well, see, Alec rearranged the little studio here, and now he does no exit.
And there's no
other
exit.
than under the table.
Yeah, Booger's over here patiently
I thought
waiting.
Boogie just wants cake.
Also got a remote camera shutter recently. Just We now return from our special episode where Alec was creeping the fuck out, crawling under the table.
And he screwed everything up.
We're back, he's back. So I was showing off shit I bought. Bought a remote camera shutter just to be able to do remote shutter.
It'll shutter it remotely.
Yeah, so you don't have to be holding.
Wait, that's a remote shutter?
Yeah, it allows
so
you
it
to
shutters
remotely. Yes. It allows you to click the button.
That makes it take a picture, right?
I got some Star-Lord necklaces for the Star-Lord cosplay.
Because you cosplay Star-Lord.
Mm-hmm. These were actually cast metal. I thought they were just 3D prints. I was pretty happy to see that they're real metal.
He charged you for 3D, but you got metal. Is what you're saying.
Fucking shit.
Mm-hmm. Who gives a fucking shit?
Or is it that new metallic, like 3D
filament? No, that's not it.
No, okay.
It's too smooth.
Is that a thing?
I think there's somebody probably working on something like that, but
so they can make guns.
Probably.
Well, they already make 3D printed guns.
3D, but make it more metally.
Metally.
Nick's very scientific
For
over here.
The Second Civil War.
So as we were saying before, things went haywire with the dog needing to go out. Yeah, Nick doesn't like the cakes.
Oh.
He had a bite of cake, and then fucking immediately regretted it, and now he's gonna do it again. Just fucking eat the whole thing.
What's the smell remind me of?
Well,
vanilla cake.
If you ever washed your fingers, it wouldn't smell like ass. So
it reminds me of Little Debbie's. Like it smells like a zebra cake.
Yeah. More mukbang for you out there. So tonight we're going to talk about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Heavy spoiler warning ahead of it, but you can either leave now and beat traffic, or you can stick around.
1 out of 10.
Beat
What
your
do you
meat.
guys rate it before they know what to see if they want to see it?
I hadn't thought of a rating like that, but I would say it's a Sam Raimi film, so you have to see it in theaters.
What if they don't like Sam Raimi?
They're listening to the wrong fucking show.
I give it probably an 85%. 8.5.
That's a B. That's a C+.
That's a B+.
Are you fucking stupid?
When I was in school.
You went to school in the middle of fucking nowhere over on the fucking...
When I
was a young
Missouri.
When I was in school, 86 was a B-, and 85 was a C+, I think.
In your public
Which
school?
would actually make us more advanced
Go ahead.
because that's a harder... 94 was an A. So 93 was a B. Now I think it's like 90's an A, right?
Oh, look. Well, that's the typical...
He says 85%. What do you say?
I'd say 80. I've got a few things in this movie that I didn't care for, but for the most part, I enjoyed it.
I'm mostly ranking it against other Marvel movies in my head, and it's definitely quite a movie, and I liked it a lot. So I guess we'll get into this shit.
What was your rating, Nicholas?
73.2.
Okay.
I thought that Spider-Man No Way Home was maybe a better use of the multiverse angle.
It's not bad for sure. But then again, they did bring in Xavier in this one, so that's the thing.
I did need to see him die a third time. So
I was about to say, yeah.
He died.
They like killing him in
he
fucking
died in
movies,
X-Men
man.
3. He died in
love
Logan.
It.
And now
Guess their dick's hard.
Maybe that was the only reason he came back, because like he clearly said, I'm fucking done with this shit.
And his death was pretty brutal, too. Like, fucking, his head was fucking basically turned around in that alternate, like, his dream reality or whatever. And then it fucking just, like, killed him in real life.
You die in your dreams. You
Freddy
die in real
Krueger.
life.
I did like that use of the red fog, like, overlapsing and taking him down in the little mind of the Scarlet Witch.
So they open up with America Chavez and Doctor Strange doing their fucking weird interdimensional...
An alternate Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But it's a Doctor Strange nonetheless, and he has a ponytail and looks like he has Keanu Reeves' hair.
Apparently that costume was ripped from a comic series, I think from around 2011, so...
Doesn't surprise
People are pretty excited to see that one on screen since it was something different. And I thought it was a pretty cool looking...
It's just cool to see him look different and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Christine's wedding, right? And you're like, oh, shit.
I thought he was just going to church, and I was like, God damn it.
You know what? I got to tell you.
I was, too. I was kind of like, is he just going to church? Like,
Is this his Sunday?
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing, but I really fucking hated that tie.
Is he in the choir?
And then what kind of pompous prick uses magic to tie their tie? Like, I get that you have magic, but I'm like, God,
tied it perfect that way. I would use magic to jerk myself off. What are you talking
well,
about?
Who fucking wouldn't?
Maybe
you don't have to do any
never-
work.
I'd use magic to wipe my ass. I wouldn't buy toilet paper.
Maybe, ew. Maybe he never learned to tie a tie, so he has to have magic to it.
No.
I would use magic for
highly
literally
skilled
everything.
surgeon and all that, yeah.
I wouldn't buy toys anymore. I just conjure them. I'd be like,
Well, maybe there was a certain knot he never learned.
You sounded like the library ghost when you did that. That's all I could think of was you going, ah!
So, Christine's husband, have we seen him before?
I don't remember if he was introduced anywhere else or not. It really doesn't fucking matter, in my opinion, but she's
There's like
moved
28
on.
movies to keep track of.
She'd moved on during the blip, obviously. So
Right, yeah. Who's the guy that he was talking to next?
Dr. West.
Dr. West
Was
is
he
in
in the
Doctor
first one?
Strange, yeah.
Yep.
It's
He's
been a
on.
while
He has a
since
lot
I've seen
longer
that.
hair in this and looks a little bit different because it's been... What did that come out in, 2016 or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know. No earlier than that, I think.
Yeah, so he's apparently a villain in some strange books later on, or in existence. So we'll probably see him pop back up again if they made the point to bring him up in here.
He seems a little bitter, so yeah.
Yeah. And Doctor Strange is, they're already selling you on the fact that he's making himself tell himself that he's happy because he sees his lady and he's like, "Oh man, I'm so happy for you." She's like, "But are you happy?" I'm happy.
I'm happy with Melissa.
With Melissa? With Melissa? I know her name. Yes.
Is that a Twister reference?
It was. You stupid bastard.
You dumb bastard.
So it starts off, there's probably, for fairness' sake, you could probably cut 15 to 20 minutes out of this if you just wanted to speed it up.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. It's only 2 hours, 6 minutes, but I felt like it dragged, so...
There's just so much happening, too.
There was ebb and flow and some breathing room in there, which I didn't mind, but...
Maybe it's just not enough...
before we go through, point by point, the one thing that I was really underwhelmed by in this movie, and the only reason I give it the 80 and that 20% to me was...
Not the fact that they didn't go to the porn multiverse, so we can see everybody's cocks and compare them, and then you see Hulk's big, veiny, fucking muscular thing that has, like, biceps on his dick, basically.
A mustache.
Yeah.
His dick probably has a fucking kung fu grip, you know what I mean?
Probably.
Hulk.
There's probably a universe with finger dicks. Right? You have dicks on the tips of your fingers, and you go around and just spray your spray?
Scary Movie 3. The aliens pee out of their fingers.
Yeah.
So...
No,
so does Leslie Nielsen, the president.
The lack of multiverse in this movie, called Multiverse, is, under-fucking-whelming to me. That was the one thing I was irritated by. They gave us the whole, shadowing through and flying through a bunch of universes, only to land and just kind of have, hey, we're going through a bunch of these.
They landed in a slightly different universe.
Well, there was so much going on that Doctor Strange's personal story that is introduced by the wedding, it's a very big scene and everything, doesn't go super far until closer to the end when he's, back with her again in there, and he finally is like, I love you in every universe.
Yeah.
But, America Chavez gets a lot more story time. It felt a little more like an America Chavez movie with Doctor Strange in it, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I don't think she was in it too much.
I'm not saying too much. I'm just saying I think his personal story could have used a little bit more development in the middle.
More meat, yeah.
In the middle, yeah.
And I know it's all hearsay, and part of that's level setting your expectations for a movie, and I didn't feel like I had huge expectations going into this, but if you're going to call it the Multiverse of Madness,
I just thought there was a little more madness.
I thought there was going to be a lot more multiverse.
There's a fair amount of madness. If you compare the middle scene. Let's get to the chunk that is the shit that gets everybody's dick hards and wet.
The
all right,
Illuminati.
Yes. So he goes to the Illuminati in Mordo's universe. I guess that's 838.
Does this prove that the Illuminati doesn't really exist? Because they wouldn't have allowed this, right?
This is comic book movies, so don't.
Yeah, that's not the same Illuminati.
I know, but if there really was an Illuminati in our world, they wouldn't have allowed.
Yeah, they would have. The Illuminati in our world, if you are into that conspiracy theory, they put a bunch of messages out there that they exist on purpose. So if anything, they made this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To further tease you and show out the fact that, we're out there.
Illuminati probably owns Disney, right?
Probably, yeah.
Disney is the Illuminati.
we're not a conspiracy.
Why hasn't
podcast.
Doctor Strange heard of the Illuminati? And
Yeah, it is Illuminati. That was the
Illuminati.
dumbest line I've ever heard in the movie. That was the bad one.
Like, you haven't heard
Unless
the-
he's being sarcastic,
the
which
word?
he just didn't deliver it that way. You know what I mean?
I guess.
There's a few of his lines that were like supposed to be funny that felt out of place that I just was like, well, that didn't work. Not a lot, but there's a few of them that were just kind of like, eh.
Him and Juan and the girl at dinner or in the restaurant. I thought it was kind of some juvenile dialogue and jokes.
Oh, about Spider-Man?
Just
the web, does it come out of his ass?
Yeah.
I mean, that's our podcast, though. I mean...
Then we should
Yeah,
have been
but
in
what
the
if
same-
we fucking save the world? I mean, we should be in the multiverse then.
Pretty much.
Like, we can be the fucking...
So you think Benedict Cumberbatch will come on our show?
He can be the stoner version of Doctor Strange. I mean, it basically is.
Yeah, I mean...
Just doesn't have the gray hair.
I'd look dope with gray hair, though.
You should put some streaks.
I'd be one of those people who, when my hair starts turning gray, I'm going to welcome that shit.
But the X-Men 97 theme, which is listed as in the credits, when you see Charles
this is
Xavier...
impression of my dick when I heard that sing.
Here's an impression of my eyes.
Your eyes rolling when you heard that? Yeah.
No, I was actually trying to think. I was like, did they ever play that in the old X-Men movies?
I don't think they did, no.
But the X-Men music in those other movies is really good, too, though.
But I know he's not that Professor X, right?
And no, he's just
'Cause he's
a multiverse version.
Yeah.
He's the multiverse version, and it's implied, or at least the fan service-y piece to that is he's got the yellow wheelchair like he has in the animated series.
He's the
and they play that
realist.
song.
He's
Yeah.
the real world animated universe.
Which is fine, right? Because...
It's not fine. It's fucking awesome.
You say vine ripe?
Fine right. Fine right.
Oh.
Vine ripe tomatoes. Fine ripe tomatoes.
Gee, right.
And that was badass seeing him there. And then we see Peggy Carter as Captain Britain.
Captain British.
I'd let her peg me.
Yeah. She's looking a little bit older, like naturally older, but she still has...
She looked ripped.
Yeah. She looked
I mean,
like
she's wearing a suit, you know, so you can't tell. But I'm sure she's actually in shape for it, too, because fuck it, why wouldn't you be?
Well, she had the series, too. People always forget about that. That series didn't run very long.
Yeah.
She had a series?
Yeah, it was...
Agent Carter?
Oh, yeah.
It was on ABC,
Okay.
so...
It wasn't as Captain Carter, obviously.
Wasn't it like a
It was a
companion series?
It was a post-World War II series that was kind of
was it?
supposed to be loosely tied into...
that come out
Agents
after
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it was somewhat related.
I think it only got 2 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't go as long as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., in my opinion, was one of those shows that had way too many fucking episodes per season, so...
Well, what year was the first Captain America? 2009 or something?
The first movie?
The first Avenger?
2010.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been 12 years since she first appeared.
Yep. No, so she was awesome in there, and then we saw...
Lashana Lynch
as Captain Marvel, which is pretty cool.
From what else she been
Maria
in besides
Rambeau.
the new Bond movie? I don't know.
Well, she's obviously in the first Captain Marvel as Captain Marvel's BFF. Not the daughter like a lot of people
Yeah, I can't remember
were
her in
thinking
that
of
for some
her
reason.
as, but...
And obviously, Krasinski is
Jim.
Reed Richards.
Yeah.
I was excited to see that. I was
yeah.
spoiled for me, but I still was
Yeah,
excited.
that was spoiled for me too. Although I wasn't sure if it was a joke or not because people have been talking about him playing that character
For
for
sure.
so long. So I was like, well, maybe he's not actually. In
I was debating that, but that's what kept me reading the thread, and people kind of... It was obvious that it was real. So
And then Anson Mount as, what's his name?
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt.
Yeah.
Blackagar Boltathon or something is his name. His full name.
So his real name is some similar
Blackagar Boltagon or some shit. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Black Bolt.
We shall call you Black Bolt.
He's an interesting character. It reminds me of Banshee from X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was neat seeing some of the characters we haven't seen in the other stuff, some of the more mutant-style characters and things of that nature, and see Mr. Fantastic in there. I thought it was nice that they kind of followed what the comic books did with the Illuminati there, right? I think, Nick, you said the big difference was Captain Marvel over Iron Man, which obviously I
You
think...
said that, yeah. I don't know
And I
anything
think a
about
lot
it.
of people were...
And Mordo instead of Doctor Strange, obviously, but he is the Doctor Strange of that. And
But you saw that Doctor Strange in that universe get killed by Mordo, so...
Yeah. So
or by Black Bolt, so... But yeah. Makes sense.
Which I like that scene where they're like showing what happened post Thanos. I hope in the next What If anthology they like
they're doing
show
another
some
season,
of that.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see the battle between Thanos with Xavier and Reed Richards and shit. Even
Yeah.
if it's just on a What If episode, I'd be down. So
I was not expecting to see the dead Thanos just like lying there defeated, which I thought was kind of neat, something different there, but...
Well, that's what I was going to say. With the deaths here, it's a little bit gruesome for a Marvel movie, let me say.
Absolutely.
Obviously. But because they're not showing all the things, but you see the bloody shield pass through Captain Carter, and then it slams into the wall with her blood, and she kind of slides off, and it don't show it, but it's implied, and it works enough. You know, Sam Raimi's like, all right, I know how to fuck you up without fucking your kids up too much.
Yeah. Well, which was rated R, but, you know, and I saw a couple of little kids in the theater there where, like, the parents just weren't thinking about it.
It was rated R, huh? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
What?
And people are debating on whether or not it should have been rated R just because of that.
This was rated R?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. This could have been PG-13 out the ass.
Yeah, what was rated R?
They easily could have done that. I'm sure Disney probably went that route just to...
I guess, because people would complain about kids. People were complaining that it was very violent.
Oh, that bugs me.
People were saying that online. I was seeing a lot of comments saying shit about Drag Me to Hell. Drag Me to Hell is such a mean movie. And I was like, why are people just shitting on Sam Raimi? And why are you this much of a pansy when it comes to a movie? Go watch fucking Cannibal Holocaust and come back to me.
I can't believe this is rated R.
Yeah, well, there's a few things to me that I think made it stand out as the rated R, right? There's the language. There's a little bit more swearing than the average story, right?
Is there? He said crap
it's
a
not,
lot.
It's not...
He was like, crap.
It's not too crazy, but there's that. And then you see the burned dead bodies, which is one of the pieces I think that counted for that. And then zombie...
I mean, shit, Mortal Kombat.
Zombie Strange is pretty gruesome and unsettling to look at.
I'm sure the MPAA would have given Disney their PG-13. I don't know.
Yeah, probably a weird Disney decision. I don't know.
Yeah,
they wanted it to be rated R, I feel.
Well, this is the first one they've done that's rated R within their own wheelhouse here. So now that they've purchased Fox and stuff,
see,
right?
we're not prudes.
So yeah, Reed Richards gets killed. Obviously, that's interesting.
His kill of him turning into like spaghetti and then getting his head smashed in was pretty fucking dope.
Spaghetti.
Black
Bolt has his head caves in after his mouth disappears. That's fascinating.
And as Nick points out, a really good point on his death is that after Wanda removes his mouth, he basically is still trying to scream and explodes.
He blows his own head up. Yeah.
So basically, commits suicide by not knowing that his mouth's gone. Interesting.
And Captain Marvel's also killed, which how she dies is kind of like, I don't know.
The statue falling on her seemed kind of weak,
her,
but yeah. I mean, considering how powerful Captain Marvel is in the regular 616 universe,
could she just not be as powerful in this?
I mean, it's very possible. So
they could have just been doing that on purpose to show how much more powerful Scarlet Witch is right now. Like it is, overpowering pretty much everyone. Like there's not a character that could have overpowered her.
What about Phoenix?
Well, obviously we don't have that yet, so
they could have got her.
That's probably about the only. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
They could have went
both
over.
of those are shitty, but I'd rather see the other one, the older one, first.
They could have went and got
that's
Famke Janssen.
Something.
Yeah,
Famke Janssen, and who's the other one? Younger Famke Janssen movie.
I don't know, but both Jean Greys are hot as fuck.
The First Class girl. I don't know.
Oh, she was in
the actress's name.
Game of Thrones is what you'll recognize her from.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And my spank bank up here.
I've never been in there, thank God.
As far as
you might have been.
Hope not. Well, I've never been in your dreams, have I?
A little incest.
Now, that was one piece I did find interesting. An interesting concept is that your dreams are...
I've heard that theory.
Multiversal versions of you, which I thought was kind of neat.
Interesting. So apparently in a multiverse of me, somewhere there's... the witch from Snow White and Seven Dwarves is trying to lure me into the vent.
Yeah.
Apparently that's happened. Because I had that dream all the fucking time.
I've had several encounters with Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, I had a recurring one.
I have
early
not.
Adulthood, so that means he's real somewhere in the multiverse. Wanda... It was interesting. How did you feel about Wanda as a character in this?
It's interesting, but it feels like they all of a sudden
I thought she was a little more one-dimensional.
Lost her development from WandaVision.
Yes, that's what I felt was immediately lost.
They didn't build up to this properly. They I mean, we're criticizing them, but it's not that big of a deal. But
she was corrupted by
that
evil
too.
Things,
but they didn't make that clear enough. You know what I mean? They kind of
not till later. Yeah.
With some of the series, it feels like you're missing out because ideally, like you would have watched WandaVision right before going into this, but at the same time, you need to see Spider-Man No Way Home
break the multiverse
because there's
barrier.
the multiverse there, and you need to see Loki as well, so you get used to the concept of all the variants and different versions of these characters. Because I think that's what a lot of people were complaining about is that you've got all these versions. Like, okay, that's Charles Xavier, but that's not the Charles Xavier we know. But the multiverse is so infinite that there might be a version where like this same person is that same character, looks almost identical in each of these multiverses, but there's also ones where they look completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. You just got to have an open mind about it.
There's a multiverse where I played Captain America in these movies.
Yeah.
Fuck, let's go to that one. Let's see what happened.
Did they reference No Way Home in this?
People talking about my ass. That's America's ass and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Did they, I don't remember them referencing it, and I thought it would have more connection.
To what?
Did they mention No Way Home, like the events of that in this?
Well, because at the end of that, Doctor Strange is not know who Spider-Man is anymore.
Yeah.
But he mentions they
briefly
mention
talk Spider-Man, yeah.
They
don't
mentioned the
mention-
multiverse break shit, but he doesn't know who Spider-Man is anymore. So it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know.
So he doesn't remember the events of the movie then.
Arguably, but he mentions them. It seems like I'd have to watch it again to see how much he mentions them. But
yeah, it's kind of one of those fine lines of is it, isn't it? You could kind of debate.
it's just what happens when you have a lot. Every one of these people has. I mean, you do have Kevin Feige. Obviously, there's overseeing, but every movie's a different hand in that cookie jar.
So do you guys think that Wanda's dead?
No.
Okay.
Probably won't come back for a while, but not dead. I
think she's dead if they never want to use her again, but they could easily bring her back.
My thing is, I'm okay if they killed her character off, but it was just so underwhelming because she was so underutilized as far as she was so one-dimensional.
Maybe she killed herself. I mean, she
made
destroyed
that
those books in every universe. Maybe she killed herself.
Yeah,
mean,
she
the
sacrificed
tower
that,
collapsing
though.
wouldn't have killed her, I think. But
yeah, because you also see that glow of light in there, too, implying that she didn't die. So it's just kind of one of those things that's left for interpretation. But I don't know, I just felt like the writing for her, after we got to see her go through all that personal trauma in WandaVision, then we see her like in her current state, and she's just a fucking asshole. Because immediately you're like, okay, why is she's already fucking hiding Doctor Strange, and she knows what's going on
it's
there.
good they don't have this some generic random villain, you know. This is something that's already set up. But I think they're in that mode where they just write the villain this way.
Well, it is interesting because, you know, you had this heroes versus heroes before with Captain America Civil War, but it wasn't to this extent, obviously. This was like full on, I'm killing people, motherfuckers.
Nobody was a villain. They were just on opposing sides.
Yeah.
Or she's straight up villain here.
And not having read enough of the books with Wanda, it's like I'm just not sure like how much of an asshole she becomes in the books.
Yeah.
But based on this, it's like she goes from the extreme, like this broken young child, young woman, to like this fucking serial killer. Just fucking like genocidal madman.
But she was corrupted by the book too, right? It's not entirely her.
No, the book was corrupting her too. Yeah, they make a good point of that, which she understands. But they also say that she's done that, which makes me wonder. I think we'll see her again, possibly. Somehow, some way, shape, or form, maybe in the Agatha series that they've announced.
Oh yeah.
I liked the octopus fight.
That was pretty cool, and I loved how it was like kind of hidden there, so you couldn't see what was going on with all that.
Yeah,
yeah, that first big battle scene.
I just realized we hadn't kind of mentioned
in
it
the city, in our universe, or their whatever, 616, like an area code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I liked America Chavez. I thought she had a pretty good portrayal of her.
They did a good enough job. They didn't overdo her storyline. They gave her just enough so she has character development.
I felt like she got scared quite a bit in this movie, and no portal opened.
I have to be like super scared, Nick. Like really scared, you know what I mean?
She was
like,
scared
oh
by
my
a fucking
god,
bee and killed her mom. So,
well, kill them or just threw them into another universe.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't really know.
They're probably in
a
the
universe of fire, and they just burned alive.
That'd be cool. That's metal,
and it's all her fault.
But we're getting, you're getting outside the regular wheelhouse of all these well-known characters, while at the same time we're at a point where we can finally bring in an insane number of well-known characters too through the X-Men, Fantastic Four.
How far this continuity has gone, at this point.
Well, that's what I thought they were going to do. That's how they were going to introduce the X-Men. They were going to be from a different universe, maybe. But
well, that's kind of how they have to because of the way mutants are. Unless they change that whole thing like they did with Scarlet Witch, which, dear God, don't do that.
Yeah, they're not just going to introduce the X-Men in the main universe, right?
No.
I don't think they will with Fantastic Four. Is going to have to be some multiverse shit too, I feel like, because
and they're just
Krasinski's old, you know what I mean? I mean, they're not old, but like I'm saying, this version of him already had kids, so he can't portray necessarily a younger version of that. You could another multiverse version that would exist, but like the Fantastic Four, going to all of a sudden, are they going to do that rocket shit thing that's going to happen now? in like 2025 where the continuity is.
And do we want to see that movie again?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Or is it just
They'll
going
do
to be like
Spider-Man,
here's
we
the
don't-
Fantastic Four and they're forced over?
Yeah, and I think that's what they're almost going to have to do because you've had, 2 versions of Fantastic Four, so people know that basic concept. It had the animated series in the 90s, so there's a lot of people that are pretty familiar with the origin story of that. But, like, Doom is obviously an insanely large villain in the MCU that's well outside of just the Fantastic Four.
And he has a lot to do with, apparently, I think, that Incursion storyline. So
yeah. So we're going to see a lot of big villains come in, too, that we haven't really dealt with yet.
Well, if you look at all of these things, they're clearly working on like the Incursion's one of the events that's going to happen. Young Avengers is clearly something that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe West Coast Avengers even.
Yeah.
The alternate Thunderbird ones with U.S. Agent and that team.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother... There's like several types of things being set up. But the Young Avengers, you have Kate Bishop from the Hawkeye series. You have Black Widow's younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
You have America Chavez. Who else is there? I think Wanda's kids actually... One of the things were part of the Young Avengers too, but there's other ones too. I'm not thinking of the younger characters.
What about Iron Man's daughter?
Yeah, Ironheart and shit.
And that's not
not his daughter.
It's not going to be his daughter,
but that's going to be the Young Avenger. I don't think we give a fuck about his daughter. I don't.
No,
definitely don't.
No, and if they do, that would be a ways away. I mean, she was a kid there, and even with the blip, I mean, you're talking. That kid was born during the blip, so it didn't really matter. So. The farther along you go with these, the things I thought were kind of interesting and unexpected, the post-credit scene, right, how they're not setting up any other movies right now. I kind of wonder how they're feeling about...
They 100% are with that ending.
They did for the next Doctor Strange, but, sometimes you get another
I'm saying that Incursion thing that she's talking about, that is a big event in the comics that happens after Civil War. It ties into Civil War, Secret Invasion, and all these multiverse shit, because what happened in Doctor Strange is... they loosely base all of this on comics from multiple eras and they combine it, but you can see that's where it's going, the Incursion thing, at least with a couple films and stuff combining.
I meant lots of times, just as we're trained to see, is a lot of the post-credit scenes are, here's a tease for something new and here's another tease.
You mean like for like the next movie or something?
The next movie. And this one just had the Bruce Campbell at the end, which is funny. Like him still finally not being able to hit himself, which a possessed hand on Bruce Campbell is a fucking no-brainer.
Yeah, I loved it.
They should cut back and he was trying to cut it off.
And then he says, "It's over!" into the screen. I'm fucking ruled. I don't know. That's I like those kind of ones. If they have 2 of them, I like one to be dumb like that, or like at the end of the first Spider-Man where it's Captain America and he comes out.
Is there any indication that the movies coming out over the next year is going to tie into the invasion and whatever?
There's a lot of the series I think are going to lead up to that more.
Because the series is more setting up the big picture stuff, and then
it's hard to say because with Thor: Love and Thunder, you really don't know what we're getting yet. Like, right, the first trailer,
like that's really going to tie into it.
Well, they also have this. They've introduced with this movie. They basically introduced the horror element into Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Also, with Moon Knight being around the same time, he's a little more on the darker side of things too. Obviously, very violent. Egyptian god shit, violence, and fucking I don't know. It's just different,
The main thing right now, out of all the stuff, and I know you guys haven't seen the Eternals right now, but the Eternals is the big fucking, squeaky fucking wheel in all the multiverse and god stuff, because, right, clearly, there's Egyptian gods are valid. Obviously, Thor and Love and Thunder is going to show that some of the Greek gods, Roman gods...
Or Norse, or...
I was about to say, that could even connect to Moon Knight, too, because they've introduced gods.
Exactly. I think you're going to see some of that as well. And so, obviously, with the Thor: Love and Thunder, you've got a god killer out there, so I think there's going to be this other element, but...
You think they're going to introduce Muhammad?
You're not allowed to draw him, so...
And Jesus.
Jesus you can depict however you want, but...
With, he's wearing a, one of those things, a loincloth, but his dick's hanging 3 inches below it.
Yeah, past it. Yeah. No, I think that's pretty interesting. This movie's self-contained. I was hoping for a little bit more out of Wanda because, her resolution is so fast at the end when America Chavez is like, I can't defeat you, but, basically takes her to see herself and, mind fucks her basically to win.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Let's see, as we're winding down on this, I guess another thing I want to talk about is the fact that there was a Rick and Morty writer who was one of the co-writers on this. As far as I know, there's co-writers. It was written by 2 people at least, right?
I think there's one main writing credit, but that doesn't
Okay, well then that's this
anything.
guy who used to write for Rick and Morty. Pardon me for not knowing his name, but which makes sense about the Doctor Strange burying his own body scene, as well as the multiverse shit.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about that. Him getting in that body, and I loved that shit. I was like, this is what I'm here for. This is fucking horror Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie Doctor Strange fucking with those fucking he's manipulating the shadow demons or whatever those things are.
Wasn't there like a series, like a limited series in Marvel where they were all zombies or something?
Yeah, I have the comic book collection of it.
Yeah, the Marvel Zombies.
I figured that was like a reference for that.
It's actually fucking dope as hell.
It's
really
fucking
cool.
dark. And they have the What If episode that kind of covers the Marvel Zombies.
I haven't watched all those yet.
I think that's been greenlit for its own series.
What has?
Marvel Zombies.
Oh, I would love
animated,
that as a series.
I think an animated spin-off may have been announced.
Because they did one episode in What If.
Yeah,
and Spider-Man had Doctor Strange's cape and shit.
Yeah, the figure line from that's fucking dope too. Because you got the zombie Captain America figure that's badass.
I meant to tell you this. They have a standee of the T'Challa Star-Lord at Vintage Stock.
Oh, nice.
It's fucking dope.
So, yeah, I think some of the other elements that we didn't really talk about yet that I wanted to touch on was, you just brought them up. The demons.
Yeah.
Those looked fucking amazing. I love the looks of those at the end. The big alien creatures that were like defending the...
I'll say the CGI in this is... obviously, there's a fuck ton of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's some Marvel movies, especially if you look back, the ones... Like, even maybe Infinity War. When Iron Man is fucking Tony Stark, his head and the suit just fucking float weirdly and shit,
Iron Man
there's
was fucking Tony Stark?
There's some weird CGI in some Marvel shit, though. Like, even Shang-Chi looks really good for the most part, but there's some weird shit in there, too.
Once in a while, their suits always...
But this one held up everywhere.
Why are their suits always CGI?
I think it's just
like
easier.
Spider-Man's suit is CGI. Iron Man's was always CGI.
Spider-Man's is not always CGI. Neither is an Iron Man.
Maybe not always, but... Maybe not always.
The Iron Spider's the main one that was CGI, and some of those like more advanced.
Maybe
ones.
some of the suits were always
It's more of the robotic stuff, right? It's easier to do that because it's. Imagine how fucking heavy that suit for Iron Man would be to fucking wear that around all the time.
Tom Holland does a surprising amount of it though, just in fucking spandex. And since he's a gymnast, it's like
yeah,
they do lots of cool shit with him. I've watched a lot of the special features on that, and he's a lot of the times in the spider outfit.
So the creature design I liked in this, the fucking zombie version of Strange at the end was phenomenal.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was so Sam Raimi.
I know it felt like straight out of the fucking Evil Dead series.
I might be watching Army of Darkness tonight just because I want these vibes.
But you watch anything from Ash versus Evil Dead, and you watch that, and like you see those tying up real nicely together.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole bunch of directing on that show, but still.
No, but
involved enough, and I'm sure those people were trying to mimic his style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Because this had a lot of that too. Like just the way he operated was really good. The zombie Doctor Strange is one of my favorite parts. With that, basically a cape version of those demons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he basically makes the cloak out of them, and then is able to fly over with them, so I control them. And I didn't mind the connection there that he basically, I love you in any universe, which is why he still has that connection, and which is why she reluctantly helps him there. And I do love that our main universe, Doctor Strange, the 616, basically realized like he can't make the mistakes the other Doctor Stranges have made, so he's like actually, his character development was great in this. America Chavez's was just enough to get you through the story.
I thought it's the opposite.
Really? You didn't think?
I thought her story was way more well developed as opposed to his, because his was great at the beginning and then at the end, but in the middle there was nothing between him and Christine that I liked. It was all just slightly weird.
It was off-putting, but I think that's how it would be, because like he clearly wants to bone her, be with her, right? Even though they're in another universe, and he's even like
that old-fashioned
you
romantic
get that
feeling.
You get that vibes that like he's willing to fucking smash her out of the other universe.
What is that in, Nick?
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that's right.
That's a special feeling, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Wanda's the one that her character development there just did not do it for me. Like, I know she kind of starts off as this character we expect from the end of WandaVision, and
She doesn't really start off that way. She kind of just starts off evil, but she's hiding it, you know.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of where you end off. Like, what you think is normal there for her, and then she's obviously putting this facade on the entire time. So, she just didn't really have anywhere to go because, like, the kid thing kind of played its course on WandaVision. So the fact that that was still her main driving motivation there,
right,
felt like a disservice to her as a character to me. But I don't know. I still had fun with it. Loved the fucking Danny Elfman score. It had Spider-Man meets Batman '89 vibes in a lot of the score, which blended really well together in my opinion. Because the darkness of the '89 with the whimsical stuff from Spider-Man, love that.
Did she not want to go to a universe where Vision was alive too, or?
I don't know. See, that was the one thing that Vision had been dead in all those.
They kind of
universes.
mentioned him, but
you could have easily just had her grab a Vision for you, and then you'd have been fine. That's all you needed. You didn't even need the kids. You never had them. They were never real.
Yeah, because she could.
It's like a fucking dream.
Because she could just get knocked up by Vision. Right?
And then Ross Marquand did the voice for Vision, the Vision Sentinels, for the Illuminati's team.
I saw pictures of him at the premiere, so I figured he was doing voices.
Yeah, he did voices for that. So I guess he had also done that on the What If episode for the. He did Ultron.
There wasn't a lot of people in my theater, but that was the only time I heard any audible. Like nerd excitement was the Ultron robots.
Reed Richards was when I heard him.
Yeah, that was the biggest.
Was the main one.
Yeah, when the whole Illuminati team showed up, like with the. I mean, I think everyone was expecting Charles Xavier, right? So that was like kind of good, but then when you see Mr. Fantastic finally being shown, that was the biggest.
The guy sitting next to me lost his shit though when Xavier came out in his chair, and I was like, I've seen this moment in the trailers, but same dude. I'm here for it.
Yeah, see, I lucked out. I was able to avoid all the fucking trailers and all the extra shit late minute that would
Booger, get off that.
Normally spoil you on that stuff. So let us know what you thought of Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, pretty sick movie. Fucking awesome Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah.
And he hasn't directed in a while, right?
This, Marvel always does this with movies, and the thing, they make you wanting to see more, like, immediately, and you don't get to. But they have so much out that you can kind of go back and rewatch some stuff and feel good about it. But they also usually do a good job of also not making it about what's to come. Mm-hmm. The whole movie. I think this one overall was executed very well, and
it has its own beginning, middle, and end.
Has me stoked for Doctor Strange, which is a character I'm not normally a huge fan of, but I'm stoked to see the future of Doctor Strange. I'm so stoked to see the Fantastic Four.
I like him as Doctor Strange, I guess.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I need to go back and rewatch now, but I think this movie adds an insane amount of value to the Loki series. In addition to, obviously, WandaVision obviously is a huge part of that. Yeah, but What If as well, right? What If is, like, you feel like you're going to watch all those things and you're going to take away so much more.
They're Disneying it up. They're like, oh, you didn't like these certain things? Oh, we're going to go back and
now you have
try to make them a little better.
Yeah. Yep. You don't know what's going on.
Like how Clone Wars did with the prequels, and Infinity War, or not Infinity War, Endgame did with like the second Thor movie that nobody liked. They're like, we're gonna go back to the second Thor movie, so you have to watch it again.
Yeah, and that was a fucking genius move though, because you're like looking at it and you're like, that was probably one of the...
Made me go back and watch it because I hadn't even seen it. That was the only Marvel movie I hadn't seen at that point.
Nice. Yeah, well, the Eternals you're not mentioning much on, and then at some point, did you guys finish talking about, or did you guys finish watching Moon Knight?
No, I haven't watched that.
I haven't watched it at all.
Okay, damn. Well, I was hoping to do an a season recap of that at some point in time, but hopefully we can do that soon. Get some thoughts on that.
When did it end?
It was only 6 episodes, so it was a pretty short series.
I mean, how long ago was the 6th episode?
Last week, I want to say.
We could do it next week if we want to. I can bend.
Be timely with it, but yeah, I'd like to kind of recover some of those items and just talk about what that does for the ongoing series.
I still got to watch the Hawkeye show.
Jesus, what the fuck's wrong with you?
You get Kingpin in that too.
Yeah, I heard about that.
There's so much.
I figured
shit.
you do. That's why I brought it up again.
What's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio?
D'Onofrio. And I didn't butcher it like I normally do. I'm like
Vincent D'Onofrio. I don't know how you were saying it before. Donofrio or something weird.
D'Onofrio. I think is
D'Onofrio. Yeah.
D'Onofrio. Yeah. Either way.
That's good.
Anything else for this episode, guys?
No, I mean, I'm excited for more Marvel, and
what's our next one?
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
There's so much like this. This is getting so big now. Like it feels like it's. But you're just at a point though where this stuff is
Krasinski.
Exactly. He can make it as big as he wants.
So
no, I just meant because in The Office, they make that joke all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
exactly.
So the 30th movie will be Wakanda Forever. This is the 28th.
Is it the 28th? Damn.
Yeah.
I still.
Thor will be 29.
I've been buying all of them on Blu-ray. I mean, I haven't bought any recently.
That's expensive.
That's fucking insane, isn't it?
Yeah, but I only need I still
only a few more because you're close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have all of the Infinity Saga on Blu-ray minus
Hulk.
2 of them, maybe. No, I have Hulk.
Yeah,
because it was actually like $11 for the Blu-ray at Target because it's owned by Universal, not Disney.
Mm.
All right, well, that pretty much sums it up here. Let us know your thoughts on social media and subscribe and like if you're not already doing so. And join our Patreon. We're going to have another movie commentary drop in here soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
biatches. Getting fairly low on the World's Fair coins. So if you want to buy one of those, hit up our Etsy shop. Links below in the comments.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Shut this off. Shut these all off.